What's up, people? This is Who That Edition, your favorite host, Trill Quack. And I know you all thought you was gonna be in the comments, what happened to your Buffaloes, this and that, Baylor. You say y'all was a 9-win team, this, that, whatever. But we fought to the end and we got the crazy dub. That's for sure probably game of the year so far, man. Colorado beats Baylor 38-31 in a thrilling overtime win off of Hail Mary. Crazy game. I don't even know where to start. Crazy game. Colorado just shows, man, that they have heart. They want to win this year, and they're serious about winning. Forget, the clicks and the likes. They're serious about winning. Their defense showed up great really throughout the entire game. The offense was struggling really most of the game. They had a few big plays, but they couldn't really sustain drives, and it led to a close game, and Colorado pulled it out in a crazy upset win. So let's get into it. Let's start with the defensive side first. I think the defense played good. You had, at the end of the day, Baylor had 31 points, but 10 of those points came from special teams. Baylor ran back a kick return, then they almost ran back a punt return that put them already in field goal range. And then Colorado defense stood up and held them to 3 that drive, so they gave them 10 points. They was able to stop the run. Yes, Baylor had 100 yards rushing, but it wasn't, really beating them. Baylor ran for 166, but the quarterback accounted for 82 yards of that, and it really was a one big 40-yard run that he ran. So they was able to hold their 2 backs to 3 yards and 2 yards per carry, and they held Baylor to only 4 yards per carry overall. So their ability and their willingness to stop the run has been shown up these past few weeks. It's been giving them a chance because I think their DBs are good and they play great coverage. But Coach Livingston, defensive coordinator for Colorado, you have to switch it up. I know man coverage is your theme and that's your thing, and it works very well, and it works 8 times out of 10 for Colorado. But those 2 times out of 10 can hurt. Both touchdowns were, passing plays, and they were on man coverage. And yes, they were great catches, but I just think if you switch it up a little bit throughout the game, it was just going to help so much. Everybody in the building knows you're in man coverage, and sooner or later, your corners are going to get beat, because they don't target Travis at all. He gets no action on defense. So you go at your number 2 and your number 3 corner, and maybe other teams put their number 1 receiver on that. It's a better matchup for the offense. So getting out of man coverage sooner or later has to be done. It has to be, sooner. You have to switch it up a little bit. Man coverage, yes, that's your thing. You can stay in there for 70% of the game. But that 30 other percent has to be some cover 2, some cover 3, cover 4, whatever, to just give your corners a better, opportunity and to confuse the coordinators and the quarterback. But I would say good game. Defense stood up. They made stop after stop, and essentially kind of won the game, right? But let's get into the offense. Offense was sluggish. They couldn't sustain much drives. They had really a few big plays that, won this game, and was the reason they kind of came out with the W. Pat Sherman, also coordinator for Colorado. He has to be better. He definitely got out-coached. The middle of the field was open all day. Baylor set and cover 2 zone drops. Had 2 out safeties, set and cover 2. And cover 2, the middle of the field or the in-between spots between the corner and the safety is open. And those was spots that Colorado did not throw enough. There was 2 really big plays they threw were in them zone spots. The Travis up the seam, even the Travis pass interference, the Miller catch was, in that zone spot. The Travis crosser route was in that zone spot. So the spots and the open plays were there, but Pat Sherman just was not calling them. And in the second half, he abandoned the run game. The first half was a balanced game. You was down by 10, and you was down by 7, and you ran the ball enough in the first half. Then the second half, you only ran the ball 5 times, not including what you did in overtime. But Pat Sherman just has to be better. He has to put his players in a better situations to win, but you look at the stats, you see Shador was sacked 8 times, and you're like, dang, the O-line played bad, the O-line, still a big problem, but no, a lot of those sacks were covered sacks, a lot of those sacks were just because they were sitting back, you know what I'm saying? If they're only rushing 4, then that's 7 that's sitting back in coverage against your 4 route runners or 5 route runners, so it just was a zone coverage that caused Shador to hold the ball too long, which is a big problem of his, and he would get sacked because he's just trying to, extend the play and things like that, and it wouldn't work. So Shador, that's one thing he has to improve on for sure, is not holding the ball. But he played well. He extended a lot of plays. He didn't give up. He fought. He showed his toughness, his clutchness, and he just showed a lot. But let's get into, the key plays that kind of really won this game, right? So one key play or key thing that won this game for Colorado is the clutch stop with 2 minutes left from the defense. Right? Baylor catches the ball, they gets down, catches a punt return, and gets down to the kind of the red zone for Colorado, and Colorado defense makes 3 stops in a row and they loses yards. When Baylor initially got the ball, it was a 42-yard field goal, and after the 3 stops that Colorado defense forced, then it was a 46-yard field goal, and he missed it. He makes that field goal, the game is over. Colorado's down 10 with 2 minutes left, I think, and 1 timeout. But the stand that the Colorado defense makes gives Colorado offense a chance, and they go down and, ultimately tie the game up with the Hail Mary pass. 2, Cameron Craig tackle in overtime when the quarterback ran to get down to the 2 was so good. That open field tackle was so great. That caused the next play with Travis, which 3 ultimately won the game. Travis made the guy fumble, and Colorado wins. But 3 plays with really the defense showed up where they could have easily, folded or easily given points, but they showed up and stouted. And Austin was the reason, Colorado won. Let's get to Shador. This game right here, if you had any questions about Shador, I think he answered them all, and he showed you exactly who he is. Shador is a great quarterback in the pocket. His feet work and pocket awareness is great. His accuracy is great. His deep ball passing is not the greatest, but it can get there. He holds the ball too long, which is a problem. His speed is a problem, but he showed that he can get upfield and run and get yards. He showed his clutchness and his toughness. Like, you see, this game showed you exactly what you needed to see from Shador. And I think his best attributes are his pocket awareness, his accuracy, his toughness, and his clutchness, right? I'll say those are his 4 biggest attributes. And some of his weaknesses, I would say, holding the ball too long, his speed, and I would say his arm strength, throw power. He underthrown a lot of deep balls, but you can't have it all, right? You can't have it all. But Travis Hunter, if he's not the front runner for the Heisman, and then it became a quarterback award. This season will determine what truly is the Heisman Award. Is it really a quarterback award, or is it really the best player in college football? Because if it's that, Travis Hunter deserves the Heisman Award. He's the best player in college football. He's the most valuable player on Colorado Buffaloes. He's cornerback 1 and wide receiver 1. Every time they needed a big play, Travis was the guy. And he's called game and won games on offense and defense for this team just throughout this season. He gets no targets, and he shuts his guy down on defense. On offense, he gets 100 yards, and 100 yards. So, as far as his best pound-for-pound player in college football, Travis Hunter is that. And if that is the definition of the Heisman Award, it has to go to Travis. And this year will determine if the Heisman Award is a quarterback award, or is it the best player pound-for-pound award for the best college football player. So, great win. I think this win will ignite Colorado. They got a big game against UCF. They have to fix the quarterback run, because UCF has a quarterback that loves to run. So, we'll see how they adjust to that and see what they do next week. Let's move on to USC versus Michigan. USC wins 27-24 in a crazy game, good game. This game was simple. Michigan took, this game was simple. Michigan took USC to the bar and fought them, beat them up. USC kind of got back and fought back a little bit. Then Michigan landed that mean tank left hook and put them to sleep like Frank Martin. So Michigan couldn't do nothing but run the ball. Michigan threw the ball for 32 yards. He had 12 attempts and he threw the ball for 32 yards. They ran the ball for 290 yards and they had 46 rushes. I say if they have to do that, they will not win. And they exactly did that and won. I could not believe that Michigan allowed that. I cannot believe USC allowed that. Michigan came down there with this crazy game plan. We're going to start Alex Orji, who had 5 or 4 passes entire his career, and said we're going to run the ball down your throat and win this game. Michigan is back. Their backyard, ground, hard-nosed, bar fight football is back, and they welcome USC to the Big Ten. This is not the Pac-12, where it's a bunch of passes and flying around, skinny guys. No, this is ground and pound, hit you in your nose, and run the ball down your throat. And that's exactly what Michigan did. I was just so shocked. That last drive, I'm like, okay, Michigan lost. You know, gonna have to throw the ball, and then Mullins broke the jump for them to win. Like, this game was good. Moss played well in the second half. He threw 3 touchdown passes. They switched around a few of the linemen, which helped them out and gave Moss more time to throw the ball, but it just wasn't enough. He was still under pressure throughout the entire game, getting sacked. The last drive, they even tried to tie it up. He got sacked a few times and got pressured and wasn't able to, give his team a chance to win. But Michigan took these people to the bar and beat them up. It was real simple. But Will Johnson, cornerback for Michigan, oh my goodness, he wins games. That pick 6 was so crucial because Michigan had nothing going in the second half. Like, I'm telling you guys, they had nothing going but that one run. Like, they had 21 points. They had 14 points in the set. What did they have in the third quarter? Like, they could not get anything going. Yeah, it was 14-3 in the second half. They could, and then he ran the kickback. Yep. They could not get any, Michigan, man, they best players. Mullins, yeah, Donovan Edwards, he had the ball and got a clutch. He fumbled, which almost lost them the game, and that put USC in position to score, and that's what USC did. But Khalil Mullins, the world knows your name, shawty. The world knows your name. 17 carries, 159 yards, and 2 tutties. And the play of the day with that long run on 3rd and 1. Michigan, hey, if you guys can run the ball 46 times for 290 yards against the rest of your competition, then you guys will be good and you guys will be in the Big Ten championship game. Because this was a take them to the bar and beat them up type of, man, this game was crazy. I could not believe, Michigan went 2 for 12 on 3 for 13 on 3rd downs, and they still won this game. They had 27 passing yards, and they still won this game. They had 12 passing attempts. They had 7 passing completions. He averaged 2.7 yards a completion, and they won this game against a good ranked USC opponent. You have to tip your hats off to Michigan O-line. Them boys put the team on their back and won this game. Could not believe it. I could not believe they won this game. I just knew second half USC was going to, stock the box, put 10 in the box, make them throw. And OG was going to throw and maybe throw an interception or just hold the ball and take sacks. And that's exactly what happened in the entire third quarter. But then, when the game was on the line, Baylor said, give me the ball, hit the hole, and won the game. It was simple. They ran the ball down their throat. They couldn't stop them. Their D-line got out there. They had, 4 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. Michigan had that. Like, the O-line and D-line just took over this game and actually saved their season. I think if Michigan loses this game, they get outside ranked and playoff hopes are over. So, Michigan O-line and D-line saves Michigan's season. Let's go to Nebraska versus Illinois. Illinois win 31-24 in a crazy overtime win. This game was a great game. Two equally matched teams, and just came down to clutch plays and clutch times and plays, and clutch players showing up. Dylan and Nebraska wasn't able to run the ball down their throat like they usually do. They had 100 rushing yards. Had 102 rushing yards, so Illinois' ability to stop the run was big. Dylan was having to throw the ball in tight windows the entire game, which he wasn't used to. Like I told you guys, Illinois' defensive backs are great. They may have the best ball hogging defensive backs in the college football. That crazy interception jump was, oh my goodness. But this game came down to 4 plays with Dylan. In the late fourth quarter, or I think like 2 minutes left, he had a guy wide open. He misses him, settled for a field goal. Illinois goes down, take the knee and go to overtime. Illinois comes out, scores. Now it's Dylan's turn. Dylan 3 plays in overtime goes like this: sack, 9-yard pass, sack. Game over. You cannot take 3 sacks in overtime when you have to score. You cannot. I don't care. You cannot take that. You have to throw it away or break the sack or something. You cannot take 3 sacks in a row in overtime when you have to win. So it was a great game though, and I think penalties was big for Nebraska. They had 84 penalties. They had 8 penalties for 84 yards. You cannot beat a good team in Illinois with 84 yards of penalties in a close game. So that was big. The turnover battle, I think, was equal. It was a good game. This was a close game, and it just key plays came down to it. The key plays, Dylan missing that throw. I think he hits that throw. Of course, they win, but I told you guys about Dylan. I didn't think he was, that guy yet. He seems to have the intangibles. I guess Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know. Big win for Illinois in the Big Ten, in the crazy Big Ten conference. Like I said, Michigan, big win. So the Big Ten is looking very good, very competitive, and we're gonna see. Now to what we do on Monday's episodes. Who that of the week goes to Alonzo Burnett, the third JMU quarterback. He had 388 passing yards, 199 rushing yards, and 7 total touchdowns. And his team put up 70 points against a good opponent in USC. Do I need to read it again? 388 passing yards, 199 rushing yards, and 7 total touchdowns. And his team put up 70 points against USC. He goes to JMU. Shorty going to tell Alonzo Burnett the fourth about this game right here. He's going to let his family, his friends, his nephews, and everybody knows his name now. He put himself on the map. This was a game right here. This was a game right here. So that was it. Now, for garbage time of the week goes to Baylor Bears. What happened, Baylor? What happened? Baylor was up 7 with 2 seconds left. Baylor was up 7 after Colorado player dropped the touchdown. They had to give him another chance. Baylor was up 7 with the ball in field goal range with 2 minutes left. It missed the kick. Baylor was given a second chance in overtime. And let Travis make a play and you fumble and you lose. Baylor. What happened? I know what happened, Baylor. I got one thing to say, Baylor. I got one thing to say, Baylor. And that's this. They told me bust out line, P. Perfect timing. Stay shining. I'm Trill. I'm your favorite host. I keep it 2 things true, real. Peace.